Services within mHealth Fairview. Thanks for joining me today to listen to a presentation on developing a career ladder. So the objectives for today are to define career ladder and demonstrate its value, discover how other organizations formulate career ladders, and recognize how we can create a career ladder within laboratory services. So I'm really excited because by the time you leave this presentation today, you know all about career ladders, what our goals are, and what exactly we need from you. So first and foremost, what is a career ladder? I'm going to turn on my pointer here because I want to just emphasize a few things. All right, here we go. So a career ladder is the progression or development path for an individual within a company. The presence of a career ladder creates clarity, structure, and direction. It can provide purpose, meaning, and a sense of ownership. So I really love this definition because it includes ownership and creates clarity. If you go online and you Google career ladder, you're going to come up with a ton of different responses. And you'll see oftentimes career ladder kind of makes it feel like it's a thing or a stepping stone that a company puts an employee through. And really, our goal of a career ladder is for us to actually take ownership of our own career growth and development and kind of create some transparency or clarity around what that might look like for you. If you're at point A and you know you got to get to point B, what does that look like? We know it doesn't always look like a straight arrow. We know it can kind of be curved, but we know there might be milestones we need to achieve within that. So what does that look like? Okay, so why is a career ladder important? Well, because it provides a structure for personal and professional development. It offers a clear, achievable path for the future. Like I was saying before, it offers transparency. It lets you know if you want to get somewhere, what do you need to do in between to accomplish those goals? And it can help folks discover and fully understand their meaning or purpose. We work for a really large organization, and so it can be hard to know, how our small puzzle piece fits into the larger puzzle or picture. But if we have a career ladder, we can further define our roles and find alignment within our roles that can really give us meaning and purpose. A career ladder creates space for continued learning. We all know we all need to always learn and adapt over time, but the career ladder creates structure around that and can bring it to front of mind so we don't forget about it. And it allows supervisors and managers to objectively recruit, evaluate, develop, and reward and recognize their people. So some really amazing workforce statistics from a recent Gallup poll said that their top 5 reasons people leave their previous company have to do with lack of career growth opportunities. Maybe they felt like the job fit wasn't right. They didn't feel aligned with the mission of the organization. Maybe their manager or management wasn't able to help develop them or give them opportunities. The pay and benefits weren't as they expected. And maybe the company culture wasn't a positive one and it wasn't something they really felt like they could stand by. So when we think about the career ladder, we're not just talking about logistics or ways that we can get from point A to point B with our growth, but we're really considering the top 5 reasons people leave their previous company, and we want to make sure we address those with the career ladder. So the career ladder is meant to help create growth opportunities for people, and you can take ownership of that. It can help you find alignment within your job, making sure you're in the right job. If you're not, maybe moving you into a better one, maybe that's vertically or horizontally. And it gives managers and leaderships tools to help develop people, properly compensate them, and then we hope to create a really positive company culture, one that you can stand by and one that makes you want to stay. So career ladder benefits. We have this broken down into 2 different sections for you and for mHealth Fairview, the larger organization. So benefits for you include, it gives you an opportunity to create a personal and professional development roadmap. Like I said before, growth and development and different opportunities might not look like a straight arrow from point A to B. So actually you can take ownership of that development and kind of map it out for future to know where you're going to go. It can align your career goals with opportunities we have in our organization. So if you have a strength or an interest, and we can talk about that and bring that front of mind, what we can do is say, oh my goodness, yes, there is an opportunity that we already have within our organization, and point you to that. We can open doors within our organization for you to grow and learn new skills and meet new people. And for you, it can find ways to grow and obtain more responsibility with more compensation. For mHealth Fairview, we really want highly engaged laboratorians who know their purpose and meaning behind their work. And we want to keep all of those really highly respected and valued folks. And again, we want to develop people with expert leadership qualities for succession planning. So we're thinking about the future, who's next for the next position? All right, this is where it gets really cool, you guys. This is the career ladder design as we know it today. So we have a basic structure defined, but we know that we want this career ladder to apply to all jobs at every laboratory site, including hospitals and clinics. We know we have room to create a level 1 and a level 2 position. So level 1 would be like your entry-level position that exists today, but level 2 would have extra defined criteria, and there would be increased responsibility and compensation for a level 2 position. We know we need to create defined pathways for, how do I get to a level 2 position, but also how do I keep that? So that's something we're going to be defining within the structure of the career ladder. And then on the right, you can see all the job classes I included. This is meant to be a list of all the major job classes that we have within the organization. We do want to include everybody, so you can look at those yourself. So we need your help. How do we define a level 1 and a level 2 position? We're going to do this through a focus group structure. It's 30 minutes to an hour brainstorming session with 2 or more people to discuss what do you want to see in a career ladder. This needs to be done by the frontline staff who are going to be in the level 1 and level 2 positions. So we're really excited that you can be part of this. If you're a smaller site, maybe 2 folks makes sense, but if you're larger, maybe you want to have 5 people in a group to discuss, or maybe you want to have multiple discussion groups. Designate one person as a scribe or the note taker, and so you make sure you capture all your really good ideas. And we're going to be providing you with examples and discussion questions to get you thinking, to get those creative juices flowing. You'll be submitting your ideas to your manager or director, or there's an opportunity to email them directly to me. And all ideas are on the table, guys. Everything's welcome and will be considered. No idea is too crazy. Just, let us know what you really want to see, because this is your opportunity to really cultivate something new for our organization that's going to benefit all of us. So this is just an example of one type of career ladder. It's actually taken from Medical Lab Management magazine from 2017. It's a real hospital example. They wanted to create a career ladder for a phlebotomy position. And so they thought about things like amount of experience that you might want to have for job class level 1 and then level 2. Are there specific continuing education requirements that you might want to have for different levels? They talk about preceptor training. So I know we do a lot of teaching at our hospitals. Is teaching something that is valuable to us that we feel like needs to be in the career ladder? They mention different presentations or projects that people must participate in. They talk about attending staff meetings. So maybe in your area, these types of improvement projects or staff meetings are really important to you and you feel like you might want to include in the ladder. They've also talked about extra competency and proficiency, which I think is important to us. So in your specific job class, are there different areas where you feel like more training requires more responsibility, which might require more compensation? And then think really big, you guys. This career ladder calls out multiple departments, lab or hospital-wide committees that you can be part of. I know we have opportunities within our organization, like Safety Always captains or coaches is just one example of that. So I know that we have organization-specific requirements for CE and experience and things like that. But so I didn't want to give you an exact example of something within our organization because I don't want to bias you too much. I want you guys to create your own ideas. So really, this is just an example of a different hospital that you can use as kind of a launching point for your idea generation. Let me go forward. Here we go. So additional career ladder considerations, like I said, you might consider extra training or competency, additional duties or responsibilities that you think would be really pertinent in your area that you might want to include in the ladder. Ask yourself, are there additional certifications that you might obtain that might be appropriate for a level 2 position? Are there quality assurance or improvement projects that you'd like to see incorporated into the career ladder? And are there memberships or participations on specific committees that you might consider? So like I said, we're going to provide you with some thought questions. This is just some of them. There are additional ones in a resource that will be sent to you, but really to just spur your discussions and help you formulate idea generation. So the scope, really want to zoom in on thinking specific to your job, your position. And I already talked about some of these first points, but I want to kind of look at the last two. Also you can build in thoughts about growth opportunities or development activities you might want to see for different levels. Or think about what type of leadership experience activities could be incorporated into the career ladder. And if you get really creative, you can draw out or write out what the career ladders might look like from your perspective. We love as much information as we can get from you, because really it's your ideas that's going to be creating the career ladder. So you guys, I love this quote. It is written by Jeff and Todd. They are executive leadership folks, and they wrote an article that I used to kind of draft this presentation and do some research about career ladders. And they said the ability to apply experience along an intentional development path is how you take ownership of designing your own career. So I love this, because we think about, we can be at an organization for a long time, we can have a lot of experience, but if we're not intentional about our development, we can't design our own career. If you're not intentional, you might stay in the same place. For some, that's okay. But if you want to launch your career or customize it, make it your own, take ownership of it, you've got to be intentional about your development. So thank you so much for participating in these groups. I'm really excited to have you all at the table, really cultivating your ideas and growing this thing. The next steps for you will be to participate in a focus group at your site, and your site manager, director, leader, they're going to help you facilitate these meetings. And so after you've done that, make sure you send your ideas to them, or you can email them directly to me. That will be in the instructions in your resource that you'll be getting. I just wanted to give you some ideas about the project timeline. So we're really being aggressive with all this work, and we're going to need your responses back by early November, because we actually want to roll this out during the performance review season in early 2020. So I'm very excited. All right, thank you so much for your participation. We can't wait to see how this thing goes.